A writer for the Emmy-award-winning show The Bear was handcuffed and taken off an MTA train after an old white lady allegedly complained about him sitting with his feet up on the seat. Alex O'Keefe, a black screenwriter, was on a Connecticut-bound train on Thursday when he was confronted by MTA officers who asked him to step out of the train car, according to an Instagram reel he shared on Monday. "You're going to arrest the one black dude on the train because this white woman said she didn't like the way I was sitting on the train," O'Keefe could be heard saying as the officer handcuffed him. The writer also said that when he was being pulled out of the train, a friend who was with the Karen that complained about him said, "You're not the minority anymore." O'Keefe claimed that when he boarded the morning train at Grand Central Terminal, a woman with a face mask told him to take his feet off the chair. When O'Keefe ignored her, the woman allegedly complained to a conductor, who then stopped and delayed the train's departure to call the police. The MTA said O'Keefe refused the officer's orders to exit the train, even after he was told that he would be able to board the next ride out to Connecticut. When he continued to refuse to exit, delaying service for several hundred other riders for 6 minutes, the passenger involved was handcuffed and removed from the train, the MTA said in a statement. The MTA reiterated that O'Keefe was not placed under arrest at any time and given a summons for a disorderly conduct violation. O'Keefe, however, maintains that there were clear racial elements at play during the incident. "They pulled me off the train and arrested me without even talking to the Karen who reported the one black person on the train," O'Keefe wrote on social media. "On the platform, the police detained me and interrogated me. Only black folks stayed nearby and recorded the arrest. When I demanded a lawyer and reminded them they didn't even take a statement from the woman who complained, they eventually released me. This country is growing more psycho by the day," he added. Video of the incident has since gone viral on TikTok and other social media, with users expressing outrage over the writer's treatment. Along with his work on The Bear, O'Keefe is also known for writing speeches for prominent Democrats, including Senators Elizabeth Warren and Ed Markey.
Greetings. Good morning. This is Morning Sky. I'm your host, Sky. As you just saw in that video clip, that's classic. I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. There's a whole host of things to discover in this whole thing. Wizard, I got your post. You're asking, you watched that show. I tried to watch it. It got a little bit too many yes chefs, yes chef, yes chef. I was like, okay, I couldn't get past it. It's not a bad show. It actually has some good writing. He's probably one of the better writers of the show. I wouldn't know because I didn't watch it that long. What are they going on, their third season now or fourth season? I've only seen the first season and a little bit of the second season. It's not a horrible show. It's got, I like the message for most part, but we're not here to talk about the show. We're here to talk about this MTA train incident. This young man of color who had his foot on the seat. Now, let me make this clear. What is the violation there? Is there a violation for putting your foot on the seat? Okay, I got you, Wizard. But did you see the video? Did you just see the video that I showed, Wizard? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about let me make sure I get his name right. God damn it. Alex O'Keefe. He was a former writer for FX's The Bear. So he was booted from the train, blames it on old white lady, and her friend said to him, "You're not a part of the minority anymore." I don't even know what the hell that means. Because is he saying because he's black? Is he saying because that was baffling. I'm bewildered. Oh, definitely catch up. I'll play the video again. I'll play it again. Hold on.
A writer for the Emmy-award-winning show The Bear was handcuffed and taken off an MTA train after an old white lady allegedly complained about him sitting with his feet up on the seat. Alex O'Keefe, a black screenwriter, was on a Connecticut-bound train on Thursday when he was confronted by MTA officers who asked him to step out of the train car, according to an Instagram reel he shared on Monday. "You're going to arrest the one black dude on the train because this white woman said she didn't like the way I was sitting on the train," O'Keefe could be heard saying as the officer handcuffed him. The writer also said that when he was being pulled out of the train, a friend who was with the Karen that complained about him said, "You're not the minority anymore." O'Keefe claimed that when he boarded the morning train at Grand Central Terminal, a woman with a face mask told him to take his feet off the chair. When O'Keefe ignored her, the woman allegedly complained to a conductor, who then stopped and delayed the train's departure to call the police. The MTA said O'Keefe refused the officer's orders to exit the train, even after he was told that he would be able to board the next ride out to Connecticut. When he continued to refuse to exit, delaying service for several hundred other riders for 6 minutes, the passenger involved was handcuffed and removed from the train, the MTA said in a statement. The MTA reiterated that O'Keefe was not placed under arrest at any time and given a summons for a disorderly conduct violation. O'Keefe, however, maintains that there were clear racial elements at play during the incident. "They pulled me off the train and arrested me without even talking to the Karen who reported the one black person on the train," O'Keefe wrote on social media. "On the platform, the police detained me and interrogated me. Only black folks stayed nearby and recorded the arrest. When I demanded a lawyer and reminded them they didn't even take a statement from the woman who complained, they eventually released me. This country is growing more psycho by the day," he added. Video of the incident has since gone viral on TikTok and other social media, with users expressing outrage over the writer's treatment. Along with his work on The Bear, O'Keefe is also known for writing speeches for prominent Democrats, including Senators Elizabeth Warren and Ed Markey.
All right, I hope you got that, Wizard. I just played that for you, and make sure you caught up. This is an interesting situation. This is a very interesting situation. I just looked it up. It says it's actually a violation to put your feet up on the train seat. It is an actual violation that can come with fines and other penalties. But this is the weird thing. I don't think he was being difficult. Yeah. I'm not giving it to the Karen. You know, the Karen might have been, "You're very welcome, Wizard. You're very welcome." The Karen, ironically, could have been helping him. She could have been helping him in a way. I don't know how, but she could have been saying, like, "Young man," like, she didn't explain herself. She just said, "Take your feet off the chair." And that could have been, he just removed his feet from the chair, and there wouldn't have been any viral video, or I wouldn't be speaking about it right now. I'd be talking about Trump or something like that, or Jimmy Kimmel coming back on the air again. I don't get it. I don't understand. It's like, yeah, all you had to do is move his feet. Yeah. I'm not, like I said, I'm not, chugga, 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 choo, choo on the coon train. However, you have to look at the facts. The facts are that it is a violation of the MTA train system to have your feet on the seat. Now, I think there is blame, though. I think there's blame against the conductor. Conductor kind of elevated things a little bit too far. He probably could have gave him a. He probably had. He probably could have reprimanded the young man. He could have sent somebody to reprimand him while the train was moving. Said, "Hey, you can't put your feet on the chair. You can't do that. That's part of our policy. That's part of our rules." And he'd been like, "All right, comply or die." I mean, he didn't die, but comply or risk being completely and utterly, I don't know. Is if you put handcuffs on somebody, that's technically not an arrest, but it's just in a sense of containing somebody, I guess you could say. He wasn't arrested per se. He wasn't brought up on any charges or anything like that. But he was contained. And it seems to me that he had just like a bad attitude, just like a nasty, like I'm holier than thou, I'm better than you, I'm a writer for a hit TV show kind of thing, like super leftist, left wing kind of guy, you know. He wrote speeches for Elizabeth Warren and other Democrats, so he's obviously leaning towards, you know, the left side of the spectrum. He may have done this on purpose. Did he do it on purpose so he can get into some kind of racial spat? Did he do it on purpose? I don't know. I don't realize it. I don't realize it. I haven't realized it. He's basically radical is too good of a name for him. He's not a radical wizard. He's not a radical. He's more like a young man who's a little bit, you know, delulu about his position in the world. Somebody is telling you something, you might as well do it. I mean, let's just say it's an old black woman. Would he have said yes, ma'am? But it was an old white woman. He was just like, no. You can't tell me what to do. You can't say. I'm putting words in his mouth. I'm paraphrasing, you know. But he said, you can't tell me what to do. If she was black, it would have been a totally different scenario. But the friend's voice is so cryptic. I don't understand at all what she means. You're not the minority anymore. Is that saying like? I don't know. He might be part of the queer community. I don't know. Wizard. But even if he isn't, you know, it's still weird. But she said you're not a part of the minority anymore. What the hell does that mean? I don't know what that means. You're not part of the minority anymore. What? That sounds like something he probably made up. No. I think she actually said that. I don't know if there's video proof. They were talking over the piece where he was speaking to, and she said, I think she did lean in and say something along those lines. And even if she didn't, you know, it's still a case of escalation. It was all escalation. It didn't have to like that. It escalated very quickly. Like that was a lot. That happened very fast. He didn't have to, you know, be so, you know, rowdy and mouthy and that, you know, going off the mouth. It's because I'm the black man on the, I'm paraphrasing again, but I'm a black man, only black man on the train, and you're kicking me off. And like, I'm like, well, dude, you had your feet on the chair. It says, per AI overview, it says, no, it is not permitted to put your feet on a chair on a Metropolitan Transportation Authority train. Doing so is in violation of the MTA's rules of conduct and can result in fines and other penalties. He should be glad he didn't get fined. He just got a summons. He's got a summons for disorderly conduct. That's all he got. This is nothing. This is a slap in the wrist. There's no real charges here. There's nothing, you know. People are just up in arms. Oh my God. Black man. Oh my God. White lady. Oh my God. I'm only saying it because it's part of the viral, you know, scene. And I'm trying to get on the viral pathway. This really isn't news to me either, but it's part of the viral pathway, so I'm using it. Using it to advance my views. That's all I'm doing. Advance my total watch hours. But yeah, he just went off. He blacked out. He totally blacked out. And I'm just wondering, like, I kind of find fault in her only because she didn't say, young man, if you have your feet on the chair, that's going to be a violation. That's a bad thing. You're breaking the rules if you put your feet on the chair. I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to not just because you were sitting that way. I don't care how you were sitting. You have your mansplain and all that if you want it. I don't really give a damn, but you know, you're violating the rules and conduct of the MTA train. But like I said, the conductor kind of like, I think he overreacted. He was acting like the guy was had a knife or a gun or something like that. But he, I think, felt a little bit entitled. It was that same ideal. It was like he got, that was his nigger wake up call. That was it. If you want to see, that's this whole episode, this whole segment of the show is exactly what Mr. Paul Mooney, Rock and Power, said about having a nigger wake up call. Having a nigger wake up call. He said all this going on, he got his nigger wake up call. Children, he got his nigga wake up call because he didn't know. He's like, I'm a writer. I've written for Elizabeth Warren. I've written for other Democrats. I've written on the hit TV show The Bear. I'm on the MTA train. For what reason, I know not. Because that was true in the 80s and 90s. You'll see, Mick Jagger on the train. You'll see, members of, rap groups, Houdini on the train, stuff like that in the 80s and 90s. And it was nothing. It was just like, hey, they're on the train. They're in New York. Nobody's asking for autographs or anything like that. Uh-oh. Wizard says, did you see that video I sent you? I'll stick to the topic, but I just want you to take it on it. Resend it. Resend it. I might have saw it and I might have declined it. I can't remember which one it was. Resend it, please, Wizard. Respectfully, nobody knows it. Exactly. You're a writer. When you're a TV writer and you haven't broken out, to a huge platform as like executive producer or a director or a writer of movies that make a lot of money, nobody knows you. He may have what, $100,000 tops, maybe. You don't get paid that much. The people that get paid are the producers and executive producers on shows. Wizard said he can ride the train. Nobody knows him outside of the people he worked with. Exactly. Facts. That's facts. But I think he seemed to be entitled. He felt entitled to be on the train. Like, oh, I'm a writer. I'm that guy. I know what I'm talking about. I can put my foot up anywhere. I can la 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 la. What are you gonna do about it? Okay, he's got the video sent to me. Hold on, let me see. Just give me a moment. I don't think it's dead. I think he's just having a different viewpoint with all the radical tension in this world. The racial tension. You don't think what's dead? What is dead? What do you think is dead? I don't understand what you're saying. I can't show this. I can't show this. I get a copyright. Um, politicians TV. This is somebody else's content. I can't do it. I can look. I can try to find 13. I did see that. My sister actually sent that to me. I'm gonna try to find the 13 dead. I'm gonna try to find the 13 dead on another one. I was saying I don't think that he's uppity because of his accomplishments. I think he just doesn't have any respect for white people. I think you meant to say. Maybe I think he was just an uppity nigga who got too much, vanity in him that he didn't get. Yeah, it is a crazy topic. Yeah, latest I saw was a college student named McKissick or something like that. She was found just either yesterday or the day before. I was just laughing at them, my dumb ass. I don't know why. You people. This generation uses emojis. I don't use emojis. I use text. I don't know what emojis mean unless it's in a context. What are you saying? What is so funny, Wizard? What are you laughing at? My dumb ass, sure, fine. So O'Keefe, Andrew O'Keefe, what's his name? Andrew O'Keefe. No, I'm sorry. It's not Andrew O'Keefe. It's something O'Keefe. Alex O'Keefe. No, excuse me, Alex O'Keefe. So he was his handcuff. They didn't beat him down. They didn't push him to the ground and knock his block off or anything like that. Oh, you're laughing at the fact you're saying he's uppity. Well, you said you thought he wasn't uppity. I think he is uppity. That sounds like a tether name. Oh no, it's Al. Well, who doesn't have a tether name? It's Alex O'Keefe. Pardon me, Alex O'Keefe. I think he's over exaggerating in my opinion. Yeah, that was a display. That was a display. He got his nigger wake up call. That's what happened. That's what happened. He knew, he got caught up into and that having a nigger wake up call is, can sometimes be a good thing. It's not necessarily bad. It can be. It's just a weird situation. It could be a kind of circumstances where you might not want to be in a nigger wake up call, but that's what gives him his, he's probably gonna get offers now. He's probably gonna get on different talk shows. He's gonna, go to the circuit, tell people about "Oh, what happened? Oh," and they reach out a hand for comfort, and they touch his hand on his lap. They said, "What happened, honey? What happened, baby? What happened to you?" This is gonna he's gonna be on The View. He's gonna be on CNN. He's gonna be on MSNBC. He's gonna be all over. It's gonna boost his stock. Maybe that's the I mean, I can only speculate. Maybe that's one of the reasons why he did it. So that could boost his stock. Put himself in a better place in Hollywood. Oh, he's got a name now. He went viral. Alex O'Keefe. Sure, we can hire him. You can be an EP this time. You don't have to be a staff writer. You can be an EP. You can be a producer. You can direct some episodes. Come on. It's just unfortunate situation. And I'm gonna try to tie the news with the reality. I'm gonna try to see it. I'm gonna try to see if I can get a video of the 13 people killed in Houston. 13 young people, mostly young people, I think, killed in Houston. They don't know why. Nobody knows why. They're found in a reservoir or something like that. If I'm not mistaken. I appreciate it. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna hunt for a video and then try to tie it in with what I was originally gonna do. If anything, this hurts his name actually because no one was gonna work with him. I think people are gonna work with him. I disagree. They're gonna label him problematic. Not in a writing room, not in a director's chair, not in a production site. Black people aren't the ones you please when it comes to Hollywood. I think that's true. Sadly, that's true. The gatekeepers are mainly white, mainly men. It's starting to change. It's been changing over the years. The complexion and the gender has changed, not just transgender, but gender. More women have become gatekeepers, and people like Elizabeth Banks and Reese Witherspoon and others. Tyler Perry, they marked their own territory. They said, "Look, I'm gonna do a production company. I'm gonna do a studio. I'm gonna do my own thing and get paid off of that and still be able to work." But if he's in the Hollywood system, he's gonna get a lot of support. It's all lefties. That's all Hollywood is left wing, nut jobs mostly. Um, he's gonna be in there like Flint. He's gonna be in like Flint. Um, he's definitely gonna, I think he's gonna progress. I think he's gonna, see this moment as his nigger wake up call to say, "Hey, look, I need to slow this down." I bet the next time he gets on the MTA train, he's gonna have his feet up on the chair. I bet you that. I can bet you that. That's gonna happen. He will not have his foot up on nobody's chair, stunting and fronting in front of nobody. But that's just it. Like he probably missed the signals. He probably missed the signals. 'Cause she was like 70s, 80s, something like that? He might buy a car. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he should be able to buy at least a Prius or something like that. That's like the super left wing car. It's like the left side, the left wing vehicle special, a Prius. Still, I still see Priuses rolling around. I guess they're trying to compete with the Tesla. Yeah, he's probably gonna buy a car. That'd probably be a thoughtful idea. Salute to Son 90. That was a pretty good suggestion. You won't have to worry about any old white women saying, "Get your feet off the dashboard. Get your feet here. Don't put your feet on the rug sideways." Make sure your driving foot is firmly planted on the accelerator. This is not gonna be a white lady. But yeah, like I said before, she could have been warning him. We don't know. We just saw the latter part of the video. She didn't like how I was sitting. I'm paraphrasing. She didn't like how he was sitting. So that could have been an indication like, "Son, get your feet off the chair." All he had to say was, "Yes, ma'am," and could have been like that. Could have just been cool. Wouldn't have been a problem. Wouldn't have been anything racial. Wouldn't have been anything racist. Wouldn't have been anything along those lines and whatever. Instead, he aided in the escalation. I think the conductor did the worst. The worst was bringing those security guards the handcuffs. I'm like, what is the handcuffs? He didn't do anything physical. He didn't do anything forceful. He didn't bite her. He didn't he didn't sniff her backside like that one guy, that creep. And what was is he in California, something like that? That creep that was smelling the women's behinds. He wasn't doing that. He wasn't invading anybody's space. There was nobody sitting there. But remember, MTA rule, and you can't put your feet on the chair. So, like I said, maybe she was trying to issue a warning and she didn't explain herself properly. So it was just a whole issue, super issue, super issue. It could have been prevented. The whole thing could have been prevented. I might not even be talking about it right now. I wanna get to this latest topic that, is on the idea. Let me see. I'm gonna try to see 13. So this is gonna be my next topic. So there's in this era, this is what I was trying to tell y'all before about serial killers. I was doing all black serial killers. Is this a black serial killer? Is this somebody roaming around? We don't know yet. Let me see. Let me wrap up this story, and then I'll get to the serial killer story, or this alleged serial killer story. All right, young man, you had a nigger wake up call. You said this is a racist thing. I'm the only black man on the train. I'm a writer. I'm a rider. WRITER and RIDER. I should have had more composure. I should have just listened to what the woman said. It was a very simple idea. She wasn't. I don't know if she even commanded to say, "Get your foot off the seat" or something. She may have said, "You might want to get your foot off the seat," and she didn't go explain any further. But the conductor, I think, took the most drastic action of all. with him calling the security forces. So, nigga, wake up call, man. Seriously, that's what it is. That's what it is. Okay, 30-minute mark. Now we get to play video. Let me see. Okay.
Our top story.
I'm just looking for the video right now. Okay.
Our top story here tonight, the bodies being found in Houston bayous. Houston police report another body was just recovered today from the Buffalo Bayou area near Jensen and East downtown. So if you've been watching and keeping track alongside us, that is 4 bodies recovered in 4 days. Today is Thursday. And sadly, a U of H student has been identified as one of the bodies recovered from the Brays Bayou area on September 15th. That's Monday. She was reported missing days before. Sherman DeSell has been covering this story for a couple of days now. And Sherman, it is scary stuff here, but just kind of fill us in on what we know so far.
Yeah, it's definitely a cause of concern for a lot of our viewers. And many have made some speculations online about something maybe more nefarious happening here. And that's understandable. Our Fox 26 count is now at 13 bodies found in Houston bayous this year by law enforcement and first responders. Remember, the 22 bayous are spread out for miles, so it's a lot of ground to cover, and that comes with tough investigations. Here's what we know. HPD confirms a male body was recovered from Buffalo Bayou on Jensen Street in Edo on Thursday. Our camera caught officers and a dive team on the scene around 3 p.m. There were reports of a man jumping into the water there. We're waiting to hear more on this. And remember when we reported 2 bodies recovered from local bayous on Monday, September 15th? One of them was identified as 20-year-old Jade Sage McKissick. She was a U of H student, reported missing on September 11th, last seen that day near the 3700 block of McGregor by a restaurant. She was a junior communications and advertising major. In a letter sent to students, U of H describes her as a campus resident and a student employee and a friend to many in their community. We're talking about a lot of bodies in a city where many people walk, run, and bike the bayou areas every day. So we visited an area near the White Oak Bayou to see how people have been reacting to the discoveries. A lot of people are just wondering, what's the deal? HPD hasn't really given us a lot of information either. What questions do you have?
I mean, is there like somebody paying attention to these? Like, is there like more details to investigation? I don't know. It's just kind of like, scary at this point, when it's that many coincidences. There's not such a coincidence that happens multiple times.
There's long-term plans and there's short-term plans. I would hope that the short-term plans are in effect and, something is being done. Someone's, patrolling or someone's watching over cameras or lights or anything's being done right now.
One of the guys who just said, is anyone paying attention to these?
Yeah.
That really brings us right back to HPD. So have we heard anything from HPD on these?
We haven't. I have been on the scene of the last 2 recoveries, hoping to hear something from public information officer.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't heard anything. We've reached out. They say don't anticipate hearing anything right now. We did reach out to the county forensics department to see if they'd be willing to say something. They didn't give an on-camera interview, but we are requesting more details from all of these instances, especially in the last couple of days. So hopefully we'll get some more information. But we hear what you're concerned about, wondering if it's something more that we should be paying attention to, and we're trying to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, we'll certainly continue to ask those questions. Sherman, thank you so much.
Okay. So this is a very serious situation. I'm going to try to tie it with what I was originally going to talk about, which is Stu Peters. If you have time, Look up on YouTube Stu Peters, STEW space PETERS. This man doesn't hate crime. He doesn't hate black crime. He hates black people. Everybody that's black. And I think the majority of the people that were found in this bayou or the bayous of Houston are going to be predominantly black. I think that's going to be the case. I'm not sure. This is an assertion or an allegation, not an assertion. He hates everybody that's of a skin color. He's a Holocaust denier, but guess what he was before he was on YouTube streams? He was a rapper. He was a failed rapper. He didn't do well. He didn't get a deal. He didn't get in, so he must have got mad. Trying to use the black man's art form, trying to use the black man's expression, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't live with himself with it. So he just transformed his whole life into being a commentator on YouTube, and he hates all blacks. He hates Jews. He hates anybody that's of that region. And I'm just glad that he has a show. I have somebody that motivates me. I get motivated by hatred. Hate motivates. So I'm saying that these 13 bodies in Houston should send an alarm up to people that are hating. You know, we don't know what it is. We don't know what the victims are. We only know one victim, the McKissick young lady. She was a college student. We don't, and nobody knows. 13 bodies in 5 days. 13 bodies in 5 days. What is this? What is going on? Are people not patrolling those areas? Are people not showing up? Are personnel and authorities not doing their job? What is going on? But this Stu Peters, he's a piece of work. He's full of hatred. He's not Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is not, or he was not, as most people say, full of hate. He was just very, indirect with his stuff. He was able to convey a message. It was a wrong message on a lot of fronts, especially against Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. But he still was not consumed by the racial hatred. Stu Peters is consumed by racial hatred. That's all he knows. That's everything he has on his plate, and that's what he shows in everything he does. He's kind of like a really nasty David Duke. David Duke was a super white supremacist, but I thought the Jewish community said you couldn't talk about CK. I can talk about whoever I want. What are you talking about? Jewish community didn't say I couldn't talk about CK. Who said that? Where'd you get that information? But anyway, look up Stu Peters. He hates all black people, no matter what. Black crime, black people, black everything. And if these bodies, if they look more like the one young lady that they just discovered, he's going to be happy, of course. Yesterday, someone brought up CK, and you said I'm not touching it. Oh, I'm not talking because I can't. I was saying that I can't upload the video to Star's Mr. Troy Star Terrain's platform. I can't upload the video. He said he's doing no topics on CK and the memorial or anything like that because the trolls are a little bit too hectic, for him. Stu Peters, Peters, Stu Peters. He's 45 years old, an American alt-right internet personality. He is known for promoting COVID-19 misinformation and conspiracy theories, homophobia, transphobia, as well as anti-Semitic and white supremacist and beliefs such as Holocaust denial. What? Well, you said Stu who? You act like you didn't know what you could spell. I'm just making sure. I'm trying to help you out. Sheesh. This guy's getting mad. I can spell, nigga. I'm glad they allow you to say nigga. You can't put the Nigger though. That's what's so weird. You can't put the on there. Hold on. Got a goddamn video. Yes, this is the guy. This is the guy. Thank you for sending me that piece. Let me see if I can play. No, I don't want to play his because that's a copyright infringement. I don't want even close to getting about it. But yeah, he's anti-Semitic and white supremacist, all because he's a failed rapper, all because he didn't get enough reason when he was growing up, enough instruction. I blame the parents. I blame his teachers. I blame his coaches. I blame all those people. They could have prevented this. He's got what? He's got 95.8 thousand subscribers. And he's really into they. They killed JFK. They juice. They juice. Who is they? Of course, you know what who they is. Probably the Jews, most likely. And the funny thing, it's all about Jesus and God. And Jesus didn't promote any strife among the different people. He had love for everybody. I disagree with it. I disagree with him as a fixture of faith, but he didn't deserve to die, and he damn sure didn't die for my sins. That's for sure. Did you ever see the video of JFK getting assassinated by security? What do you mean by security? Where are you going? What video of JFK? See, you're really weaselly, son to son 90. Did you ever see the video of JFK getting assassinated by security? Where are you going? Are you being a conspiracist? What are you doing? Assassinated by security. What security? He was assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald. No question about it. It looked like the guy, his car hit him. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if it's Lee Harvey. It looked like the guy in his car hit him. I don't think that's what the Zapruder film showed. I don't think the Zapruder film showed that at all. He got shot in his neck. He went like this, and a few seconds later, shot him right in his head. So I disavow, I disagree with any notions other than Lee Harvey Oswald doing. Everything else is conspiracism. This guy, Stu Peters, he would champion this because there are black people dying. I care about all people. I care about black people, white people, red people, yellow people, brown people, white people. So that has to be said. These 13 slangs is an outrage. This is all for the police. I know they can't prevent crime if they can, but when they can, they should have, patrol cars, they should have monitors, they should have personnel out on these bayous, check for what the hell is going on down there in Houston. Beyonce's probably going to give a Halo tour or something like that. She's going to do a tribute to the 13 people that were lost. See that in the works. And it could be a growing number. It could be even more after that. More people found. It's really sad. It's not nothing. It's not anything to laugh at. It's not anything to joke about. I'm not trying to say, Stu Peters. I was just originally going to talk about Stu Peters, and you guys, my sister also brought up this idea of bodies in the bayous of Houston, and I think that is a very interesting thing because you guys know my history. I've done black serial murders. Is this a black serial murder? Is this a serial murder at all? Is this what kind of somebody that is killing people just for kicks? Or what is it about them? What is their methodology? Will this person ever be discovered? What is going to happen? I wonder because, like I said, I discovered all those different murderers, those serial killers. They happen to be black. They've got consecutive life sentences and death penalty on them, and they were freaks and creeps and all kinds of things, and they aestheticized murder and killing and made it into their own fashion. That's extremely dangerous. It's extremely wrong. This Stu Peters guy, this just makes Stu Peters, sit back and laugh and ha ha ha. More Negroes, more niggers, more. They're all dead. That's more whiteness for us. That's great. The other way for the white race. 1488, 14 words. I remember. I don't know the 88 words. I think I did 14. Let me see. Because the beauty of the Aryan white woman must not perish from the earth. I think that's the 14 words. If I'm not mistaken. Because the beauty, I'm going to say it again because it bears repeating. Because the beauty of the white Aryan woman must not perish from the earth. And I am in complete agreement with that. Not in the hands of, lynching black men or women, but just to keep the white woman all her beauty. Black women and brown and yellow women are and red women. But the white woman, she has an interesting history along with the Negro man. The Negro man, the white woman have a very interesting history. The white woman didn't have to do a goddamn thing. She could just sit up in the big house and do nothing. She could have went to college. Some colleges barred women. They had to found their own colleges, and that was going through hoops and leaps and bounds. But all they had to do was sit pretty in the house. They didn't have to work. They could have just got some schooling, but they didn't have to work. All they did was make babies for the white man. They couldn't vote. They didn't have any right to that. They couldn't buy a house unless it was couldn't obtain a house unless it was inherited or they were widowed and they owned the house after that. How many beans you popped so far? Very little. I mean, I had some morning stuff, but not too many. But yeah, so white women, they really didn't have to do anything. But the black man had to do everything. He had to build this country, FBA, Foundation of Black Americans. They had to do it all. They had to do it all. And so that's what I was thinking about with how many donations you send in, Sun 90? That's the real question. And if you say I'm broke, I'm getting you out of here. Anybody that declares that they're broke is getting gone. Sorry. I'm not dealing with it anymore. I gotta get this money. I gotta get this shmoney. So the black man and the white woman have a lot to share. White man and the black woman have a lot to share. The black woman is the most educated specimen all in the United States of America. Look it up. Most educated black woman. White man, I think, came in second or third or something like that. I think, black men are way down the list. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. You can look it up online. But that's what I think the reason why, that's what happens with very prominent black women. Very prominent Oprah, yeah, she's not married. Condoleezza Rice, she's not married. Sheila Jackson, what was it? Was her name Sheila Johnson, divorced, got her, I think, $1 billion or something like that from name Johnson. I can't think of his first name. Her husband, and Pam, you know me. He's talking about Pam, you know me. Oh man, that's funny. You know me. I can only offer viewership. That's the only thing you can offer. You can't send it to anybody. You can't go on Twitter or X. You can't go on Facebook. You can't go on Instagram. Say, yo, look at this nigga Sky. This nigga wilding. This nigga's out here in these streets. He's wild. And give notes for observation. That can't be the only thing you offer viewership. You gotta hit the ground running. You gotta pound the pavement. You gotta get this word out and give notes from observation. Uh, what is it? What is it with Americans and asking people if they want kids? I've seen a video of John Cena earlier asked that question. It comes out of Christianity. It comes out of the Judeo-Christian Bible. Be fruitful and be fruitful in the world or something. I can't remember the exact scripture, but people that are in the faith are really about babies and having young kids and stuff like that, not realizing that they're going to be 18 and 19 years old one day and have a heroin addiction or be killed in some stand somewhere. No, babies, babies, babies. Everybody loves babies. They're so cute. They're so bubbly. Or you just want to hold them and hug them and squeeze them and kiss them. Not when they're older. 18, 19. Oh, you gotta get the hell out of here. You gotta go to college. You gotta go to military, or you gotta do something, man. Your ass is grown. Last person I'll share your show with called me a atheist for supporting you. Yeah, I don't want kids. I no longer want marriage. I enjoy my peace and solitude. I respect that, son. 90. I respect that tremendous. I totally understand where you're coming from with that. I can totally agree. For now, I was thinking about maybe when I'm like 70 or 80, I might have kids just cause. That's a terrible reason. Just cause. No, because I'll procreate and make the world, better with my offspring. I'm the ultimate man. I'm a man of substance. So have somebody continue to be within the framework of being a parent, that would be something that would be constraining, but not to me when I'm 80. Everybody else be like, "Whoa, you don't have to do that. We'll take care of that." You should pass a house down to your kids when they're 18 or 19. I mean, it depends if they deserve it, if they earned it. If they were spoiled little brats, and that would probably be my fault, but if I was gonna pass my house down to my kids at that early stage of age, that would have to be some serious, understanding. Serious. I had a cousin ask me if I was a virgin because I didn't have kids. Oh my god, that's crazy. That's the sad part too. You can't masturbate. You can't you can't have sex before marriage. So it's like I'm just gonna do the wrong thing or whatever I wanna do, either, do that or get married and be tied to one person for the rest of your life, sexually. That's insanity in a lot of ways. Unless you have an agreement with this person that you will not have some outside relationships, and then you can still have a healthy marriage if you're just one, just the two of you and nobody else comes to the picture. There is no good time to have kids, to be honest. You want to enjoy your 20s and retire in your 30s. Wow. Well, I retired in my 20s. No, I'm saying that put them out at 18. Oh, it's diabolical. Okay. Yeah, but that's the whole Christian right. That's the whole Christian right. They want to have babies and more babies and more babies. And then the babies grow up and then they turn into monsters like gremlins. You feed them after midnight or you throw water on them and they want to turn into gremlins. Little cute little gizmos, little I can't remember what they call it. I can't remember what they call mushroom. Hold on. I really want to know now. Mogwai. They're cute little mogwais. Then they turn into gremlins, and you're like, "Oh my god, what is going on? I can't understand this." That's why most don't need kids. You have to give them something to inherit when they turn 18 and 19. If you cannot give them a house or help them get an apartment, you don't need kids. That the worst thing you can do in this world is bringing a child into poverty. That's not. That's probably one of the best things you can do if you are just, legitimately able to raise that child. Because look at Hollywood. Look at anybody, especially in Hollywood. How many people came from rich backgrounds? How many people were nepo babies? Very few. Very few. There were some, of course, but most people got it out the mud. They started from the very beginning, challenging the ideas of being entitled. Okay, we just got another video. Hold on. Gracious. Dakota Thompson. Okay, this is a totally different story. I don't have much time to cover that, but I thank you for that, Wizard. I believe this girl came from a two-parent household and still chose to be an escort. Whoa. I think that's probably part of pornography too. Escorts and the porn industry. They probably come from stable backgrounds, like mother and father in the home. Upper middle class or middle class, lower middle class, and they still wanted to do sex work. At 19, yeah. Well, she's legal. She was legal at 19. I believe this girl come. Let's see. Yeah. That's not too surprising to me. It's not surprising. Hey, I'd like to thank you guys. I appreciate your time. I hope you got in, the little tidbits of this viral video and of I'm not your own wizard. I'm not your own. What are you like 30 yourself? Come on now. But definitely have a great day. I know there's some stressful news out there, but don't make that weigh upon your soul. Always seek happiness, seek engagement, seek prosperity and flourishing. I will see you tomorrow morning. Take care.